Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studios, continuing my journey of learning how to collage. I thought today we would make a collage together. The first thing I want to do with my collage is find a focal point, what your eye focuses on when you look at the picture. And I'm going to choose a picture of my Cutout and Collage book. Now you can find a picture in magazines or something you draw or on a calendar. You can find your picture anywhere. But if you want this book, I'll put the link to it in the description box. Now I'm going to look through here, and what I have in mind is a flower and a hummingbird. Something simple for one of our first collages. There's a lot more complicated ones we can do, but I think we should start out simple. And I did look through this, and I found a flower that I really like. It's back here. There's so many pretty ones, but this one really appeals to me. So I bookmarked that one. And then a bird. Let's get back here with the birds and look at this beautiful little hummingbird. So the first thing I want to do is to cut out these two images, and they will have to be fussy cutted. But the first thing I'll do is rough cut out the flower and rough cut out the bird. So here I have my two rough cut pictures. I think these are going to be very cute. And when I say rough cut, I mean just eliminate all the excess paper you can around your figure, so you don't have to deal with that anymore. And then we will have to fussy cut it. And with the bird, we have to eliminate all that background. I don't think it's possible to cut that out. And it's really there, I think, it's more of a suggestion of what you can do. So, I am going to fussy cut these, which is cutting right along the line. And this is a very slow process for me. I'm not very fast or very good at fussy cutting. So I will finish that, and then I will be back with you. Okay, I have my two figures fussy cut, mostly. Now if you notice on this one, right through here, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I know if I have a craft knife, I might be able to get that out, and we might try that. And I'm going to leave this beak with some paper edge around it until I'm ready to paste it down. I don't want to lose that cute little beak. Now, after you fussy cut, you need to look around and see if there's any spots you've missed, and I think I've done pretty good for me. I'm a beginner at this. That's one reason I haven't tried collage in all these years. I looked at those pictures and thought, I can never cut all those out the way they do. And then, to smooth things out, because there's always a white edge, I don't think you can see it on the camera, but there's usually a little white edge along here. And if you take your stamp and your ink and go along those edges, it will kind of hide any white that is trying to show. Just a little bit. Now it's kind of hard to get around these feathers. We could also do it by laying it on a piece of paper like this, and then we can go around the edges a lot easier. And I have vintage photo that I'm using. Now, I notice that some people that do this, if they're doing a flower, they will use a green ink, which I think is a good idea. I may try to get me some green ink to try that. I really think this helps our cutout to look a lot cleaner. Now, I haven't been able to go around the beak, obviously. Now, let's try the flower. This is optional. You can do this or not. Now, I'm going to go over this little spot that I didn't cut out and see if this just blends it in to where I don't need to worry about it, and I think it does. Oops. There we go. There is my flower. Now, the next thing I need to do is decide on my base. And I have 4 books that I'm working out of. There's 2 tiny ones I know there's no chance these are working in. My 2 larger ones. This would be my first choice. And let's see how well it fits in here. Well, it doesn't do too bad. It would be a tight choice. I think I'll go to my next bigger book. You can see how my wings are going to overlap in the other page. So, my biggest book. So let's move that aside and get out my big book and see if that will work. Here's a page. And will we have plenty of room in here? Yes, there would be plenty of room to do these in here. So, the next thing I need to do is choose my background papers. Now, I want to cover this. I don't want it to look like a calendar. So, I'm going to go through my papers. We'll lay those aside. And choose several, I think, by looking at these, I'll need blues and pinks. So I'm going to pick out some blues and pink paper. So here I am with some of the things I found. Isn't this piece of paper neat? I think it might make a neat picket fence down in the bottom side of my page. I don't know, but we'll see. Here's possible blue I could use. Now, I really like this blue because we're doing birds that are up among the trees and the leaves and the flowers, and I think this is a perfect blue piece. And then here's some pink pieces we could use. A lot of pretty pinks. But I think this one is exceptionally nice for the same reason I like that blue one. And then for more of a solid pink. So, I think I'll use those pages. And if I want a bright bit of color somewhere, I have this book of all of these beautiful pages. And there's a lot of pink in this. I'm not sure if I'll use it or not. This is an origami paper pack, and these just have the most beautiful papers in them, and there's no reason it can't be used for collage instead of origami, right? And you'll find those in a lot of the bookstores or online, and I think it would pay you to buy one. So, I found this with this pretty blue sheet. I think will be my background sheet, and I will cut that to the size of the page. I have a hard time fitting all this under my camera setup, but I think you can tell what I'm doing. So if I lay it here on my page, and then I will bend it like this over the edges, and that will tell me where to cut. And then we have one down here. There we go. Now, you could cut that with your scissors, or use one of these cutting, your Fiskars cutting, I don't know what you call it, but you cut it. And you place it in here. I love these things. And here we go. If you don't have one of these, I would suggest that you pick one up. I got this at Walmart for around $20. I know you can get them at Amazon and all your craft stores. And I use this in my scrapbooking, and now I'm using it in my collaging. Let's go back and get our page here. And I think we did pretty good. If there's any hanging over, we will trim that off later. So, the next thing is we're going to go ahead and paste this down. Some of the other pages we might play around a bit, but let's paste this down. Now, there's lots of ways to do this. I've seen them do it two ways. Using plain old paste works. Others will use something like Mod Podge, and then they glue it down with that. But since we're kind of beginners, I'm opting for the easy way this time. And I would suggest some big glue sticks like this. Big fat glue sticks. And you can just cover your page in glue. Be sure you get all those edges good, because we want our edges to stay down. And get well covered with your glue so we don't have any bubbles underneath. See, it's already bubbling a little bit. And then put it down as close as you can to the edges. In fact, be sure and close your book so you know that it will close over it all right before you put your other pieces of paper down. And there we go. We have our background down. Now, let's see how our bird fit on here. I think they fit just fine. So, we need some things to fill this area. And I'm thinking picket fence. What do you think? This would make a perfect picket fence. What do you think? Let's go for it. We can always think and think and think and not do anything and never get anywhere. Then along this can be some vines or flowers. I think I saw some in my book, the cut and paste book, that might work for that. So I'm going to cut this into a picket fence shape. We'll do points there, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have my fence set up. These are not pasted down yet, but I think I will do a row of these pretty flowers to put at the bottom of my picture. So what I need to do first is get the width. So I have enough. And right there's my width. Now I'm going to cut this off here and then do a cut like this. Here is my cutout flowers. Now I will want to ink the edges like I did those. Let me get my ink here. And I will go looking for some vines or leaves to put behind this. And this will go right along here. So, let's search for some vines or leaves for this. The first part of my book is flowers, so just some, I think I saw some in here, like this. Here's a vine. That's going to be fun to fussy cut. What else have we got? We've got some leaves here and a vine here that's just like that other one. Those are a possibility. And here's some others. I don't think I want to try anything that hard. I think these will do that I found. Here is a possibility too. I don't know how many I'll need to look right. But let's cut out these two, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I decided one vine would be plenty on here since it's a good size. And I tried to fussy cut this. I left a little edges around the vine, and I didn't leave enough for this one because a leaf fell off. But you know what? No one will ever know it. And after I cut this, I used my dauber and my brown dye, and it hid all those places I missed. It blended them in well, and on the edges of the leaves. So I think my leaves are going to go somewhere right in here. We'll have some of them come over, and then here's my other leaf. What do you think about that? I like that. And I think there might be one more thing I want to add down here is a bug. I know there's bugs in my book. And I think I also need to do a little inking along the top of my fence. Let me go get a bug and I'll be right back with you. I found this cute bug in our book. I'm trying to use that book as much as possible for this one. So if you have it, you will be able to find most of the things. Now, because I'm not a very good fussy cutter, and this bug really has skinny legs that I didn't do a very good job on, inking it covers a multitude of my mistakes. And so, ink around it. And this is a cute bug, but he's kind of big in comparison to my garden. But we'll just say he's a nice bug anyway. And I put it somewhere around here. Let's see. I would like a little saying to go up here before I'm done. And I say I have to ink the edges of that. And a little saying up there, and I think we're about done. I was going to use all kinds of different papers on this. But you know, it really hasn't needed it. It looks pretty this way. I think I will put up here, all things grow with love. And I'm not a very good writer, but I think I'm going to try to write it in. So, what should we do first? I think maybe we should try that first, so if I mess it up totally, it'll be easy to take care of. So I'm going to take everything off of here. This is glued down. And with my pencil, lightly write in that saying. So, all. Let's use a ruler so I kind of stay straight. All. We'll put things grow. with love. And I get the bottom of my G here, fits right in there. Then I'll go over that with my ink pen. Now, I'm going to have to pull this down here where I can do it. Things. Grow. With love. Dot, dot, dot. Now don't be scared to use your own writing. It might not be perfect, but we're not trying to be perfect. We get it all now? See, my all is not perfect at all, but it works. So the next thing I'm going to do is ink my fence, and then I'm going to glue them all down. Okay, the first thing I need to glue down now is my flower. So I'm going to take it and put glue on the back. Being sure to go over all the edges. Now you hopefully will be working in a spot that has a little more room and you're not trying to avoid a camera. So some of this may look a little awkward, but it will be easier for you. Because I suggest not working on top of your work unless you have to. Would that be right? Yeah, we'll let that be right. So let's press it down, glue it down. All those little edges. And go behind the fence. So let's get this glued. Our fence is down. The next thing we need to do is put our flowers along the bottom. And I need to leave a little space unglued here for our vine to slip under. I'm holding this up so I can take my leaves these leaves are so fragile where that stem is. You have to be very careful. Get some glue on that. There we go. See if we can pick it up. And we want to tuck it under here. Stem under, leaves over. There we go. And we had a stray leaf that is blowing away. All right. We've got some trimming to do on this side, I see. Let's put our bug on. Do we want him here? Do we want him on the stem? I mean on the fence, on the flowers? I kind of like him there. What do you think? Let's do it. Think too much, you won't do any of it. Now, we haven't got a most important character on there yet, which is the bird. And we didn't cut out this beak, so we need to do that now and ink it and glue him down right about there. Okay, let's get our bird glued. Be sure to be careful around that beak. And that inking did really help hide my mistakes in cutting out the beak. Let's see. I really wrote almost too big, didn't I? I should have glued the bird down first. Note, you remember that when you do it. Glue your bird down first. There we go. There. I think we're done, except for trimming it. So there is our first collage that we've done together. It's nothing like what I thought it would turn out. I had all kinds of ideas, but nothing for certain. I was going to use a lot more squares and things of color, but it evolves. You'll find that with your collages, if you pick out one thing and start matching it, that it evolves, and you don't know what it will evolve to. And I think this came out really pretty. Remember, if you want to use the bird and the flowers I used, this Cutout and Collage book, Volume 5, again, I'll put the link in. And these were just from scrapbooking paper. You could draw this out yourself very easy, and then just find some scrapbooking paper that will work like this. And any, you know, like a blue, and any ones with flowers in it, that will work really good. Now, I've enjoyed making this collage, and I hope you have, and I hope you'll join me on our next collage. Bye-bye for now, and have a great day.